All right, everyone. This is it. This is the final run of day one of No Reset Speedrunning Marathon here at DreamHack Austin 2018. It's going to be Spyro the Dragon by SecretHumorMan. The category is 120% because this guy does not cut corners. And he's going to be playing it on emulator. So, honestly, I just want to say, despite all the technical issues we've had, this has been a great show so far. We've had a great crowd, great response. Every single runner showed up, delivered great runs. So I just want to take the time to thank each and every single one of you who came in here to either run the game, watch our speedrunners, support us. Thank you. And this just to say that we still got 2 more days of all that going on for you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow at 10 sharp. Pre-show starts at 9:30. But without further ado, let me give it up to SecretHumorMan for Spyro the Dragon.
Thanks for the pressure, man. Well, I can't promise I'll be as witty as the last guy, but hopefully I give a good show here.
World record or you're banned?
I'm sorry?
World record or banned?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, you guys ready for a countdown then? All right, so we'll go ahead and start with 3, 2, 1, go. All right, well, thank you guys for having me here at DreamHack. We're about to do Spyro the Dragon 120%. I guess I won't go too much into the story of this game. Basically, the dragons are doing a documentary about the dragon worlds, and in the middle of the documentary, they call Nasty Nork, who's like this really big guy. They call him ugly, and that makes him very, very angry, and he goes around freezing all the dragons. He doesn't freeze Spyro because Spyro's too short, and so it's up to Spyro, the littlest dragon, to kind of save the day. So in 120%, we are going to be rescuing 80 dragons, collecting 14,000 gems, and 12 dragon eggs. So yeah, we've got a lot to do, and we'll go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, you'll notice that Spyro has like a little dragonfly following behind him. That little guy is Sparks. And Sparks makes collecting gems really, really easy because whenever we get close to a gem, Sparks just kind of goes around flying and picking up all the gems. Now, the first level we're going to do here is Sunny Flight. There are 5 flight levels across the entirety of this game. And flight levels are a little bit differently than all the other platforming levels because Spyro spends time in flight and you have a time limit. So we try to do these as fast as possible. There are always 4 groups of 8 things that you must destroy or go through. In this case, we have 4 trains, 4 gates, and or 8 gates, 8 train barrels, 8 planes, and then 8 treasure chests, which we'll see towards the end of here. Fight levels are pretty fun, but they're also pretty unforgiving at certain points. Because if anything like slows you down or if Spyro stops moving, he loses momentum, and that will obviously slow you down. In flight levels, Spyro actually goes the fastest when he's the closest to the water. So we try to keep him as low as possible throughout the entirety of this. So we'll go through here and destroy all of our treasure chests, and then we'll be on our way out of here. Now what I just did there is I did a little animation skip. I had Spyro run into the wall there. That skips this big animation where he kind of does this spiral upwards. So the main 2 forms of movement in this game are like while we're just walking around. But the main movement that you see us do throughout the most of the game is charging, which is just me holding square down. You can just see Spyro like charging towards. Charging, through the most part, keeps Spyro invincible, so you can just run through most enemies, except for the larger enemies. The larger enemies have to be flamed. All right, so we're entering Dark Hollow. Dark Hollow, pretty easy level, one of the smallest levels in the game. There's only 100 gems, so we'll get through here pretty quickly. I'm actually going to wait here on the wall for a little bit to get the backside of this Nork and this other Nork. It's really good to get that Nork cycle there. You also notice that when I collect dragons, I'm running into a certain side of the dragon, and that's in order to skip animation. If you go into the wrong side, Spyro has to walk like all the way around the dragon, and you don't want to wait for him to do that. So we always try to go to the short side. It's not always possible, but most of the time we try to go to the short side. Oh, Sparks missed a green there, so I'll have to go pick it up on the way back. So that's one of the kind of infuriating things about this game that you get used to when you run it for a long period of time is you get used to the range that Sparks has where he will pick up gems or he won't pick up gems. And so that's kind of the difference between like a top tier player and like a lower tier player is you kind of know the range. You don't have to like double back any of the time because you know you were close enough to pick up the gems. I'm going to try to do a trick called a wall glide here. And I missed. Hopefully I'll get the second one. But wall glide just to make it so where we don't have to climb up these dumb stairs again. Oh man, and I missed the second one too. That's okay. There's plenty more wall glides to show off later in the game, but those were just two of the fun ones. All right, now for most of the levels that we play in Spyro, you're going to see me use the pause menu to exit the level immediately. However, there's a level in the first homeworld called Toasty, and you can't enter it unless you've gone through a exit portal for the first time. There's actually a trick called Toasty Skip that allows you to enter it from the backside, but it's relatively harder for newer runners, so I choose not to do it. So we're going to be heading towards Toasty now. I guess I'll go ahead and introduce myself. They did it in the beginning, but my name's SecretHumorMan. I'm actually primarily a Rareware N64 runner, so like games like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong 64. But I recently picked up the Spyro games. I thought the Spyro games were really fun, and I thought I'd submit it to a marathon because I have never done it at a marathon, so I thought it would be fun. So here I am running Spyro, so thanks DreamHack for accepting me. It was also a nice excuse for me to come back to Austin. I haven't been here in about 2 years, so it's nice to be back in the city. So these dogs cannot be charged. We gotta flame the dogs, and you gotta flame them twice. And the dogs can be kind of scary because once they get flamed, they get angry. And so you gotta flame them again before they like ground pound you. They don't really ground pound you, they like body slam you, so it can be kind of scary for little dragon Spyro. Well, we're just going around, clearing things, making it nice and easy, picking up gems. So Toasty is one of the 5, or I guess one of the 6 boss levels technically if we count Nasty Nork at the end. But Toasty is really easy. All we gotta do is just flame him. We flame most of the bosses. And as you can see, he's just a sheep on stilts, so there's nothing really to worry about there. Crash into these chests and leave the level. That was pretty good. Spyro is a really fun for those who are like interested in the speedrun. Spyro's like a really fun run to kind of pick up because there's very little downtime and it's almost all movement. There's very little tricks involved. There are a couple tricks towards the late game that can like save chunks of time, but for the most part, it's really about optimizing your movement, picking up gems when you're supposed to, knowing the Sparks range, little things like that. We are going to do a little trick here. We're going to do water proxy, and it's going to allow us to get up on the upper level of this world a little bit faster. So I'm going to come over here to the waterfall and just kind of jump up and use that to propel me. You're also going to see the first of the dragon thieves in this level. And there are 12 of them, and they run around carrying eggs, and we try to kill them all because we got to collect all the dragon eggs for 120%. So there he is in the blue. You can kind of see him. We're going to kind of sneak up on him. There we go. So that's 1 egg out of 12. And now we're just going back to more gems and dragons. And that's essentially the game. Just cycle of all gems, all dragons, all eggs. I'm also running this game currently on an emulator. I'm running on EPSXE 2.0.0. That is the fastest emulator, I do believe, that's viable to still be on the leaderboards, because anything faster is faster than console, which is cheating. But emulators are actually accepted for this game because they did want more people to be able to play it. But the fastest version for playing this game is on a PSTV with fast disk speed, I believe. PS2 has like a nice option to do that. But I currently do not own a working PlayStation, so I just play on emulator. Makes it really easy to practice because you got stuff like save states and things like that, so no worries there. One unique thing about Spyro movement is that as long as you're charging, anything that would produce gems for you automatically hones into you. This is not true for flaming. So anytime you would like flame an enemy, you have to like go back and pick up the gem or like jump into the gem. There is a mechanic in this game though called flame charging, which is where you flame a couple frames before charging, and the game believes that you're charging into the enemy, so it still picks up the gem. The timing is pretty tricky in this game. It's a little bit more lenient in the later games. But doing it is obviously another skill that separates the top tier times from the lower tier times. But we're doing pretty good so far. We only have one more level to do in the first home world, which is Artisans, and then we'll be headed on to the second home world. So we're about to do Town Square. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our first day of No Reset. There's been some really good runs. Making sure I get all those gems before I go back up the whirlwind. All right, and into Town Square. Town Square is a very hit and run level, very fast level. We'll only be in here for about 2 minutes. There's another movement technique that I'm going to go over once we get into the second world, because it's not terribly important in the first world, but we're going to go over what charge gliding is a little bit later on. Another thief that we kind of
Do I have time for some donations? Alright, so our friend Quacky Spouse donated $28.31. And he comments in French, faire un chiffre means he's rounding up the numbers. And then It's a Geiger donated $33.33 without comments. Thanks to both of you for your donations.
Thanks, Geiger. Yeah, Geiger's one of my good friends. He couldn't make it up today to couch for me, but that's okay. Hopefully I get to see him tomorrow and Sunday. I know that he's got a 3-day pass as well. All right, so we're just about to wrap up Town Square here, and we'll be moving on to the second world. Second home world, I should say. Yeah, so for the rest of the game, we don't really have to take any return home portals. We just get to pause exit out of the menu once I know that I have all the gems. Ooh, almost fell off there. That was good. So usually a good time for the first world is sub 13. But that's okay. I think my PB is like a 13:09, so not too terrible right now. Just like 20 or 30 seconds behind now. All right, so we take our first balloon ride, and we're headed over to Peacekeepers. So right off the bat in Peacekeepers, we're going to be doing an extended wall glide, and this is going to get us around the home world a little bit faster. We're kind of going to do the last level of this world first, and then we're going to go from the beginning. So hopefully I get the wall glide first try. This is usually one of the easier wall glides of the game, but you know, marathon setting, nerves. I'm sure that we'll get it though. Not too worried about it. So we're gonna line up with this wall over here. Go a little bit further. There we go. Perfect, first try. Yeah, so that gets us up to the night flight faster. I don't know how much time this route saves, but it does save a little bit. So we're going into another flight level. So again, we're gonna have a time limit. We're gonna try to be getting all these collectibles as fast as possible while keeping Spyro as low to the water as possible in order for the maximum speed. This one's a little bit interesting because we're gonna light some lighthouses. Somehow our fire penetrates the glass and lights the bulbs. How about that Parasite Eve run? That was like the weirdest game I've ever seen, but man, that guy made it really entertaining. Definitely gonna have to drop a foul on Professor Palmer. All right, so we got to finish up the gates and the lighthouses, and I'm gonna be trying to do another animation skip here, where I run into the end of a lighthouse, so that I don't see Spyro like flying out of control. So I'm gonna come up to the base of the lighthouse here. Perfect. Pretty good flight level. Also, for those of you guys who are watching, I hope you've been listening along to the soundtrack. Hopefully you guys can hear the original soundtrack for this game. Hopefully the game audio is loud enough for you guys. But for those of you who don't know, all the music in this game was composed by Stuart Copeland, who people may or may not know as the drummer of the Police. You know, like Roxanne, like that Police. So, but he did all the music for this game, and it's honestly like one of my favorite original soundtracks for a video game. He did a really good job. So those chests that we just saw there, those are called flame chests. So you have to, you don't have to necessarily flame them. You can charge into them, but it's slower. But you flame into them, and then the gem pops out, and you jump into it with Spyro to collect the gem. Okay, so we're going to do Dry Canyon. Some annoying enemies in this game, but usually this is a pretty easygoing level. We're also going to see the first, metal fans here. Metal fans, they have to be flamed 3 times in order for them to be destroyed. So you'll see more of those as we continue on with the game. I'm gonna come to the outside of this pier so this other bird hits me. Good. See right there, I misjudged Sparks' range. I thought he'd pick up both green gems, but again, I was just a little bit outside the range. Gonna do a quick shout out here to my boy Boris Yeltsin, speedrunner friend of mine, but we're also rescuing the Dragon Boris at the same time. Okay, so what I just did right there, that's like one example of a charge glide, and what I'm doing is I'm pressing the charge button right before I start a glide, and that makes it to where I start the glide that much faster. And it allows us to get a little bit more distance with our glide. We really abuse charge glide in this game because it allows us to kind of like get on top of areas that we couldn't necessarily get on top of, and it also allows us to like glide faster. It's just overall faster movement. There's another metal fan here. And another thief. Luckily he runs like kind of right into our flames. Also, for those wondering, the world record for this game is currently a 122, and it's held by SSBM stuff, which some people know as Saboom. And Saboom is kind of I don't want to speak for him myself, but he's kind of known as just like the god of this game. Obviously, my time is over 20 minutes slower than him, but he's just really put a lot of time into this game. He's not the only person who's put a lot of time into this game, but he's put a lot of time in this game. He's really optimized his movement, stuff like sparks range and stuff like that. So, shout outs to him. All right, so we're coming across our first firework basket. Normally you're supposed to flame the firework baskets, but sometimes we will go ahead and charge into them with Spyro. It makes them explode immediately and we save a little bit of time. All right, that was, I did not think I was gonna pick up all the gems there, so I canceled my glide. So we're gonna have to go around again. No, not a big deal, but I'm glad I ended up picking up all the gems. All right, big glide over here. You also notice that when Spyro starts his charge, he gets a little bit of height, so sometimes we will charge right before the end of a platform in order to push him on top of the platform. Picking up an extra life here just to be safe. There we go. All right, so the next level is Cliff Town, and Cliff Town is like notorious for being my run killer, just because it has a really dumb jump at the beginning. For those of you who are like in the audience watching, you probably saw me practice it before I started running. I'm gonna try to get it first try. I've been known to not get it first try, so we'll see what happens. But it's kind of a dumb charge jump around this corner. I'm gonna try my best to get it first try though. All right, so missed it. That's okay. Got another shot. We start right here, so it's not too big a deal. Okay. That's okay. I just want to show it off, because I know I can do it. I just kind of choke it now and then. All right, too close to the wall there. No worries. We'll get it. We'll get it. There we go. Yeah, so that wall can be kind of unforgiving, and I don't know. I guess with my movement, I just kind of usually choke it, but it's cool when you get around it, because otherwise you have to go all the way to the top of the mountain, and then you got to come all the way down. It's just kind of annoying. So the only real problem, besides losing a little bit of time there, is we lose some of our extra lives, which we need for later levels, because we have some death warps. But I can pick up extra lives, and we'll be fine. Gonna do another charge jump here in a little bit. Oop, missed the chest. This one's a little bit easier though. Come to this end, turn around. There we go. So yeah, normally you're supposed to go up to the top. Whew, almost pulled a Spudley man there. For those of you who don't get that reference, Spudley man is a Spyro runner. And one time it took him 51 jumps to hit that firework. So luckily I only took 5, about 10 times as less, but. Oh, okay, good. I did pick up the jump. So yeah, I can pick up extra lives later. We won't be too much trouble. We haven't used the Death Warp yet, but for those of you who don't know, we always spawn at the most recent dragon that we've captured. So we use this in some of the larger levels because it'll bring us back to the spawn, and it's a little bit faster than, you know, backpedaling. All right, so I'm gonna go up this hill and be charging through all these birds while collecting gems. The birds can fly at you, but as long as we're charging, we'll always pick up their gem, so not a big deal. There we go. Whoa, almost fell off the corner there. Thank God I didn't. Yeah, Yeah, so see, like right there on that platform, it didn't look like I was going to make it, but we just pressed charge right before we would have landed on it, and we're all good. It's the joy of charge. Spyro 1 is also very unique when you compare it to its sequels, because Spyro 1, in Spyro 1, he's very, very fast, and he doesn't have much of a jump, versus in Spyro 2 and 3, he actually does get quite a bit of a jump while he's charging. Just a little bit of a fun fact there. So in Spyro 1, he's very, very fast, which is why I think it's the most impressive to see like a fast run done of Spyro 1, because he's the fastest, and it's really cool to see that. All right, this guy under there. Gonna make sure I get this cannon in the right spot, because the cannon is used to blow up these strong chests. There we go. And now we'll be going to the second boss of the game, Dr. Shemp. This level is really cool, really fast, really fun. I think Shemp has some of the best music too. So what happened there is the Big Mama, even though I had flamed her and killed her, her hitbox was still active. So I actually got hit by the charging guy because I was unable to charge past the Big Mama. This level is also exciting because you see our first 25 gem. That little pinkish gem is worth 25. So bosses, if you die to bosses, they can usually be pretty unforgiving because in all the boss levels, there's only one dragon and there's no fodder. So you guys might see that like Sparks is blue right now. Sparks has health. If he's at full health, he'll be yellow. If he's been hit once, he'll be blue. Hit twice, he'll be green. And if he gets hit again, he won't be there. And keeping Sparks healthy is very important because when we don't have Sparks, then we have to run over each individual gem. And that gets really, really annoying. So fodder are like these little creatures that spawn butterflies for Sparks to eat. Because butterflies heal Sparks. So right now, he's been hit once. And we will need to heal him by hitting some fodder. There we go. Make sure we get that. All right, just back trailing through the level, picking up the remaining gems. That's 300. Good, good. All right, so we're coming up on Ice Cavern, which I think is the hardest level of Peacekeepers. It's got a couple tricks, some very unique fast movement. We'll be trying to get all that stuff first try. And I'll probably pick up some of the extra lives in this level just to be safe. But yeah, 14,000 gems. And we're at 2589 right now, so strap in. We're here for a while. So right off the bat, I'm doing this kind of blind charge out on this ledge. Luckily, you just have to hold a little bit to the right at the beginning to hit it. Yeah, so a general rule of thumb for Spyro, if the enemy is really, really big, you have to flame them. It's just kind of how it goes. So there we go, I hit the bat, and you can see Sparks kind of chasing the butterfly around there. And now Sparks back to full health. All right, so we're going to get this dragon, and we're going to go over to an area where we're going to try to do another wall glide. And right after the wall glide, we're going to be trying to do a bit of movement called magic stairs. And magic stairs is just climbing up on these steps really, really fast. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys. So here comes the wall glide. And here comes magic stairs. Perfect. So yeah, so those, usually you would have to like jump up there and you go like super, super slow around in the circle, but luckily I was able to get the magic stair movement, so it's pretty good. surprised that hit me. Being very careful here to charge because I don't want to fall off the level into the goop. Oop, I missed the guy. Not a big deal though, there are bats coming up that we can kill. We'll get Spark some of this health back. Kill the bats. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this extra life. Another unique part about Spyro movement is that in order for him to like turn around the fastest, you have to jump and then move him. Because if you try to like walk around in a circle, Spyro moves like really, really slow, or he'll do this like really dumb spin around. And it's just really, really slow. So we change velocity really fast by jump and then charging. I'm gonna pick up another extra life in this area as well. Alright, so we're about to wrap up with Peacekeepers, and we'll be moving on to the third home world, which is Magic Crafters. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Supercharge, but I'll wait till we get into Magic Crafters so you guys can actually see what Supercharge is. Gonna collect the last dragon here. We'll be well on our way. Usually a good Peacekeepers time is sub 30. But I think my PB, again, is like a 30-32. So, again, we're not doing too terrible in this run. Gosnold, the balloonist, will take us over to Magic Crafters. There we go. Guys enjoying the run so far? Nice fast dragon. All right. So we have Magic Crafters. Now in Magic Crafters, there are going to be a lot of egg thieves. In fact, we're going to be collecting the rest of the egg thieves in Magic Crafters. So there are like 7 or 8 of them across the levels in this game, or in this home world rather. Now you guys might be wondering why the home worlds are titled the way they are, like Artisans, Peacekeepers, Magic Crafters. That actually has to do with the appearance of the dragons. Unfortunately, we skip all the dragons, so you don't get to see like any of them besides Nestor in the beginning. So one unique thing about these metal fans that I didn't talk about earlier is when you do blow them up on your 3rd try, they send out like a little piece of like rebar essentially, and if you hit somebody with that rebar, it'll kill them. So that's what we did for that guy to lower the wall. All right, we're coming into Alpine Ridge. Alpine Ridge has some dumb cycles. I'm going to try to get a lot of them first try, but I've been known to fail a couple, so we'll see what happens. The first cycle that we have coming up is like these stairs that go in and out due to this wizard who's standing up the top. Oh my god, and I almost never get that, so that was really good. Saved a little bit of time. So yeah, notice when Sparks is chasing fodder, I have to actually spend the time to run over the gems myself because he's too busy eating. So again, normally you're not supposed to be able to make it over that wall if it's up, but with a charge glide, we can always make it over. I'm gonna wait for the cycle to come down. There we go. Good. This has been actually a really good Alpine Ridge so far, so been pretty good. Again, I just want to say, for those who are like actually interested in this run, if you guys are actually having fun watching it and you think like I'm fast, you should definitely take some time, go on Twitch, follow the game directory, and actually watch some of the top level speedrunners play this game, because the movement in this game is what made me pick it up. I just think it's insane how fast people can get Spyro to go through these levels. So, you know, if you're having fun, if you're having a good time, please go give some other Spyro runners a follow. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of an out of bounds here, because the game developers didn't think that we would be able to make it through this wall, but we can. That just kind of saves us from having to glide over there. It's just easier to go through the wall, catch the egg thief on the other side. Jump away from the fireworks there to make sure that we don't get knocked off. 500, we're good, and we're out. All right, so we're coming up to one of my favorite levels if it goes well. High Caves is going to be the first level where we actually employ the supercharge. Oh, I've almost never missed that guy. You're going to see me do the supercharge here in a second, though, before we enter High Caves. We got to do a little more hub world movement. So whenever we see these glowing arrows, that means that Spyro can go into a supercharge where he really pedals those legs and he moves really fast. And with supercharge, we're able to go through strong chests, we're able to go through big enemies, we're basically able to do anything. So we also move really fast. That's kind of the most important part. Again, this is a speed run. So I'm going to be trying to abuse supercharge in this level to where we're going to save some time with cycles. I've been doing pretty well with the high cave cycles recently, so we'll see what happens. But yeah. Avoiding these tornadoes so that we don't get swept up. I think I should still be making pillar cycle. We'll see. I'm just going to go for it. Oh, yeah, he's right here. All right, so right here in the middle of the high caves is the supercharge ramp. And we're going to be using it to go through these strong chests over here to the right, as well as some fireworks. All right, so I missed one. That's okay. We're going to go through these two fireworks. And I guess I didn't flame that firework. Another egg thief. Really easy to get. All right, so now in high caves, there are these spiders, and the spiders can only be killed with either supercharge or super flame, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second as well. We're going to be using super flame to kill some of the remaining spiders. But I'm going to try to kill all three of these spiders with supercharge by ramping up this one. Nice, and I got the cycle. That's really good. That saves us a lot of time right there, not having to come back around with super flame for those spiders. So now I'll get the fairy to kiss me if she wants to. There we go. She kisses me. And now we have what's called Super Flame. So with Super Flame, we kill anything with just one flame. And I'm going to try to run over this spider before we lose it. There we go. Perfect. So with Super Flame, we can kill those metal fans first try. We can kill the spiders first try. But it's just really nice that we didn't have to come back through here with Supercharge. Saves about 28 seconds. All right, so before we jump over here, this should be 358 on the gem counter. And it is. It's good. That's probably the hardest part about running this game is learning the gem counts so that you know if you miss one or not. But I just have a few here and there to keep me on track. I did do a NoReset run of this game yesterday, and I missed a couple gems without realizing that I was missing gems. So hopefully that doesn't happen again today. I'm usually pretty good with my gem counts. All right, now there's actually an egg thief off screen that we're going to hit with this rebar like I was talking about earlier. There we go. Hit him. That's 500, and we're out. All right, so that was actually a pretty good high caves. All right, so next we have Wizard Peak, and Wizard Peak really abuses the supercharge. There is a way where I can skip using the supercharge once, and we're going to try to do that. I'm pretty inconsistent with it, but we'll see what happens. It's usually pretty nice when you get it. Obviously, you save a little bit of time. But we're really going to abuse supercharge. We're going to see the difference between yellow supercharge and orange supercharge. So I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get there, but yeah. I'm also going to be attempting sort of a more difficult wall glide in this level. I've only gotten it 3 times during runs, but one of them was just yesterday during my NoReset, so we'll see what happens. Ooh. Did not like my angle there. Thought I was going to fall off. I missed it. That's okay. The Death Warp does not lose that much time. And that's why we need extra lives anyways. So you might be wondering, why is he going around this side again? Well, it's because there's more gems up here. All right, so here comes kind of the supercharge part of the run. I'm not going to say part of the run, part of the level. So we're going to be going through these 2 metal fans, hopefully. Good. Going through this extra life. Now we're going to be using it to go through these 2 guys. And we'll swing back around and get this guy. So I have yellow supercharge now. I go down another supercharge ramp, and we have orange supercharge, which just allows us to go a little bit farther and faster. Taunting me. He's back here. All right, we get that egg and we roll off. Spyro does a little commando barrel roll there. All right, now we're going to come up here again. All right, now what I'm going to be trying to do, you're supposed to go through 2 supercharges here, but I'm going to try to just use 1. Yeah, and that's too low. That's okay. So, only loses a little bit of time from failing it once, but now we get to use the double. So now I'll go down 1, we'll go down 2, and now we'll have orange supercharge, and now I know that we'll reach it no problem. I think there's 2 chests, yep. Whoa, no. All right, that's okay. Let's do a double again. This is why we picked up the extra lives. We wanted to be safe. All right, they should be 407. Yep.
How's it going so far, man?
Say what?
How's it going so far?
That's going pretty good.
Working that world record?
I'm sorry?
Working that world record?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're really close to world record.
Yeah. I just wanted to give a big shout out to the CSGO stage because they really, really make our show shine. Quite literally. See the little blue spots? That's them.
Shoutouts to the one-eyed Lucas. One named Lucas. There's a Spyro runner with Lucas in his name. Shoutouts to you, man. We just freed you. All right, so we lost a little more lives than we wanted to in that level. That's not too big a deal. Again, like I said, there's a lot of extra lives that we can pick up later. And basically, as long as we don't game over, it doesn't really matter how many times I die. All right, that might have been Dragon Skip. I don't know. We'll see when the level is over. Okay, we're going into another flight level. Right off the bat, I'm going to be trying to kill these planes. Only missed one, not too bad. Ideally, you want to get all 8 planes there when you backtrack around, but it's okay if we miss one. We can get him right before we go for the treasure chests. He should be coming around right about now. Let's see, I'm going to get this first. There we go. Not too bad. He wasn't too out of the way. If you do miss a plane, it's better to miss one of the later ones versus one of the earlier ones, because the earlier ones you really got to backtrack for. All right, I'm going to run into this wall here in order to skip the animation. So that was a pretty good crystal flight. All right, now if I got Dragon Skip, we'll have captured this guy in the middle of the cutscene, but I don't think I got it. Yeah, we didn't get it. That's okay. Only loses 5 seconds if you miss it. All right, so we have the final level of Magic Crafters coming up. Blow Hard. Go ahead and get your jokes in now. I think I missed that gem. And Blow Hard is he's basically like a tornado boss. But he drops a lot of gems, so we want to kill him. Circle there to kill the chest a little bit faster. So there's Blowhard. Like I said, he's a little tornado guy with like a witch's hat on. Relatively easy to beat. So yeah, like obviously on that dragon, I could have hit him from the backside, but if we walk around and hit him from the front side, it saves a little bit of time, so you just want to do that. It's actually the first time I've ever gotten that cycle. That was a little weird. No worries though. All right, blow hard. Oh, he rose up before I was able to hit him. Okay. So usually when we defeat bosses, we try to stand right on top of them. That way all the gems just get automatically collected. Sometimes one gem goes off to the other side. Not too big a deal. Yeah, again, I think my PB for Magic Crafters is like right at 47 minutes. So again, we're not doing too bad despite all the deaths. All right, so now we're going to my favorite world, Beastmakers. This has a lot of really, really cool levels, despite the worst level that I think is in this game, Misty Bog. We're going to be getting to that soon. Misty Bog is like usually where I lose like 40 to 45 seconds, depending on how triggered I am throughout the run. But every other level in this world, I think is really, really fun to do. And Terrace Village, which is this first one, is probably my very favorite. Either Terrace Village or Metalhead. Metalhead is the boss for this world. But Terrace Village is really fun. It has it's just got really, really fast movement. All the enemies can be charged, essentially, besides the guys with the big electric guns. So it makes for like a really fast level. All right, I missed that guy's gem. Our flame extend through both fans. That way we don't have to flame 6 times. We got to flame 3 times. Oh, I did not mean to miss that guy. Those guys make a really satisfying sound when you kill them. All right, so here comes the wall glide. I want to get this one first try. Perfect. Have to wait a cycle. Did not feel like getting shocked. Right. So yeah, we're almost to 50 dragons. Pretty much halfway through the game right now. Do another charge glide here to gain a little bit of height. There we go. That was actually a really good end to Terrace Village. So that was pretty good. Not too bad. All right, so we've got Wild Flight, which is my favorite flight coming up, and then we've got Misty Bog. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to strap in for what I consider to be the worst level of the game. I'm going to come kill this hog while we're waiting for fireworks to blow up. We're going to skip this hog, because we like him enough for now. Kill this hog. Wild Flight is really fun. There's very, very little that can screw you over in this level, which is probably why I think it's so fun. All right, so we got boats. There's boats for the first time. Flight. And And again, we're trying to keep Spyro as low to the ground as possible at all times. We want to make sure that, you know, we're gaining the momentum. We don't want him to hit the water, though. If we hit the water, then we have to start all over. Not ideal. Yeah, that was very solid wild fight. I mismenued, so I had to re-quit the level, but that wasn't too bad at all. All right, now you guys got to brace yourselves. We got the worst level of the run coming up. Misty Bog. It is just very, very unforgiving. There is a section in this level where there are so many enemies that speedrunners have since titled it Guantanamo Bay. So we're going to be trying to get through Guantanamo Bay with little to no injuries as possible, but usually it ends up in Sparks' death. Hopefully we get through it enough. There are also very, very terrifying enemies in this level. You're going to be seeing these like wicked trees. And it basically, if you like taunt the trees and don't flame them in time, they eat you. And that is a very, very scary and very long animation that wastes a lot of time. Now, normally good runners would go ahead and charge the frogs, but if the frogs are facing you when you're charging them, they have a chance to tongue whip you, which hurts you and loses sparks. So I just like to flame them from afar. I just like to play it safe. And there's the tree eating me. Oh, it's lovely, and now he's gonna spit me out. Thank you very much. That was just so wonderful, wasn't it? Miss this quite, but that's okay. As long as we keep sparks. We just never want to lose sparks. If we lose sparks, this level becomes just like complete cancer. We don't want to do that. Alright. So we're kind of at a safer area of this world, which is fine. But we are going to have to go into Guantanamo Bay with only blue sparks, which will be a little scary. Ooh, see, that guy almost whipped me. He almost had the opportunity. Pretty good section, not too bad. But we're coming up on the harder one. We'll get to Guantanamo Bay soon. Don't you worry, folks. We're gonna get to the part of the level that might make you think about not running this game. Gonna pick up an extra life just to be safe. Nothing wrong with picking up extra lives in a marathon setting. Okay. So we're going to kill this chicken up here to get blue sparks, and then we're going to be entering. Oh no, that is really not good. So we only have green sparks, which means I'm probably gonna die unless I kill this dragon. Oh yeah, now we're definitely screwed. So now I have to try to make it through without getting hit at all. I really don't Okay, so now we can get the dragon. So at least if I die now, we'll spawn right here, which is not a big deal. But I just did not want to die without hitting the dragon first. Yeah, I figured that would be the case. So just got to kill this one frog. So like I said, Missy Bog can be very unforgiving. There's a lot of very annoying enemies. And that final room can just be, it can just be really terrible to have to go through. But we're looking good. We're actually not too far behind PB, which is really cool. I think I had a really good terrace village. All right. And we have yellow sparks too, which is really nice for treetops. All right, treetops is one of my favorite levels as well because there's a lot of supercharging abuse. And you get to see some really cool jumps in this level. So hopefully I can nail all of them. All right, so here's where the supercharged gate is. Or I guess like the path. So we're gonna use it to come over here, and we're gonna go through the metal fans. Then we're gonna use this one to go through the strong chest. Grabbing an extra life because we're about to death warp here. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to try to get this super charge abuse here. Normally we're supposed to go around in this really, really long, obnoxious route, but I'm going to try to... There we go. So we do that little quick 180 to get over here a lot faster instead of going around trying to chase the thief. Whirlwind up. If I can hit all 5 of these treasure chests, I'll be a legend. This one. Nice. And we've got 2 more supercharges before the end of treetops, but this has been a pretty decent one. Nothing too bad in this one. I'm going to use this supercharge to crash into this strong chest. Good. This should put me at 415. Yep, good. Good, good, good. All right, so now we're going to do orange supercharge over here. This is going to be yellow right now. Now it's orange. $500. Okay, so coming up is another one of my favorite levels is Metalhead. It's the boss for this level. Metalhead just feels really cool when you nail it. Just a very, very cool boss. They did a very, in my opinion, I think it's like one of the more, how do I say this? I think it's very well designed. I just think it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we won't see him for a few minutes. We got to do a lot of gem collecting before we actually fight the boss. Now, the reason I go zigzag up those stairs is it just makes it a lot easier to not get hit. Ooh, man, we almost made the wall glide. Not too big of a deal if we take damage there, though. A lot of bombs. Wow, that guy kicked me hard. It's okay, we should do pretty well. Alright, so now we get to fight Metalhead. And Metalhead is really unique because we actually don't flame or charge Metalhead. We destroy these electric poles. So I'm going to try to do this in a organized fashion. Damn. Oh, that's not good. I just lost Sparks, and as you know, there's no fodder in boss levels, so now I have to pick up everything with Spyro. Not ideal, not ideal. Oh man, please don't hit me. No, Metalhead, why? Okay. So, unfortunately, we gotta go through these cycles again. Ow. Like I said, Metalhead is fun when it goes well. Alright, too bad though. And now he collapses. We stand on top of him. There we go. And we just got a couple more gems to collect before we get out of here. $500. All right, so not the greatest of Metalheads. Still, even though that went badly, like that's still one of my favorite levels. Like, I don't even mind that it went badly because I just have so much fun with it. Now, what I'm gonna do is collect that one gem before we do anything else because I missed it yesterday and it forced me to come all the way back. So we definitely don't want to do that. All right, and we got all of Sparks' health back, which is good. Gonna come all the way over here to get the key because we got a chest before we piece out of Beastmakers. Alright. Should be 300. Talk to Cray, and we're off to Dreamweavers. Still on pretty good time.
Be a good. Let me know when would be a good time for donations.
Yeah, I mean, right now is pretty good time.
All right, so we have a $36.36 donation by Squeeze65. Big congrats to DD, Shokushu, Sage, and G-Virus for making magic happen. Hype!
Hype!
So, yeah, that's my better half. Thank you, babe, for the donation. And Izzy, you should be going to bed now, but it's fine. You can watch the Spyro run.
Okay, so Dreamweavers has arguably some of the harder levels of the game. Some of them are pretty fun. I think Haunted Towers, which we're about to do, is one of the better ones. But it all depends on getting this very, very important kind of charge section. So we're going to be trying to do that. I've been missing this recently, but we'll see what happens. Basically, in this level, and this level has the best music, by the way. In this level, there are certain fairies that can kiss you. You know, give you supercharge, stuff like that, or super flame. And we're gonna try to take this first fairy's super flame all the way over to the second fairy's like door. But we gotta be really fast. I'm gonna try to do it. Nice, and I got it. I got hit by that guy, but that's not a big deal. So I completely skipped going to one fairy, which is really nice. And I have been missing that for like the last like 3 or 4 runs, so it's really nice that I got that. All right, we're gonna take this supercharge all the way around the castle. And the whole reason why we skip kind of all these enemies really quick is that we want to get all the way up to the top of this castle as fast as possible, because up here, there's a fairy that gives you super flame permanently as long as you don't die. So we always want to get up here as fast as possible because super flame is just awesome at this level. And super flame is the only way to kill these guys in shining armor, unless you've got the supercharge. But guess what? There's no way to supercharge up here. Ow. Big chest. So yeah, we get to keep this for the rest of the level. So as long as we don't die, this will be a good level. If we do die, we'll have to come all the way up here to get the super flame again, and that takes like a long, long time. Obviously, we don't want to do that. Normally, I would bonk on that firework right there, but I have green sparks, so I don't want to lose him. So now, essentially, we're playing through the entire game backwards, or the entire level, rather. 61 dragons. 19 to go. Double check, make sure that's all the treasure. Yep. This is a very easy level to lose track of your treasure on. No! Oh my god. I was so close to taking damage there, that was so scary. Alright, luckily we're coming up to mushrooms, so we can save sparks. Yeah, so that fairy back there in that alcove, that was the one that we originally skipped by going through that gate. We're pretty good now. There's like not really a dangerous part of this level left. Feels like I'm a little low. Nope, that's 500. All right, good. So let's see. Coming up now is Dark Passage. Probably my second least favorite level in this entire game. But I've been better about it recently. The one annoying part about Dark Passage is it has turtles. And turtles are maybe the most annoying enemy in the entire game, in my opinion. They just have really, really, really bad timing. All right, here we go. But after Dark Passage, there really isn't too many levels that I hate. We have Dark Passage, Lofty Castle, and then basically the rest of the game is easy peasy. So, oh yeah, this level also has dogs. So yeah, so turtles spit those fireballs, and those turtles spit the fireballs usually literally right when you're about to charge them. Oh, ran out of time on the cycle. Yep, there you go. You just shot me right there. So you kind of got to be tricky with the turtles. You kind of got to fake them out, or you got to make them, you know, shoot a different way. Now when the jesters light the lamps, that's when the dogs kind of go back to normal. Wow. Big proxy on that dog. Yeah, so you can't flame the big dogs. No. So I gotta fake out the turtle again. Alright, not a big deal. We got mushrooms coming up to save us. Sorry to all the dog lovers out there. See, turtles are just very tricky. Just very, very tricky. Okay, we should have 274, and I think I have that. It looked like it might have been 273, but hopefully it's 274. Okay, it is. Good. That means we're not missing any gems. Yay. Woo! I cannot believe I didn't fall off right there. That was pretty close. Never been that close. Alright. Last little annoying room. I'm just going to try to kill all these annoying enemies as fast as possible. Turtles. Very important that you light that firework before jumping off, because if you don't, you have to backtrack for about 45 seconds. So you really don't want to miss that firework. See, they always get you. Those turtles always get you. All right. That wasn't too bad of a Dark Passage. Thank God we're out, though. Okay, so we're coming up to the last flight section of the game. Gonna wait for shrink on these guys. Wow, that guy's hitbox went perfectly in front of the guy I was trying to flame. Gonna skip that lift, just go straight to the dragon. We're gonna do a little bit of a charge glide here to gain some height up onto this cannon platform that we're definitely not supposed to make without using the lift, but that's okay. And now we're gonna use the shrink ray, shrink our own boys. Shrinky dinks. Oh. Missed the charge. Okay, I gotta get my bearings. Okay, I don't have to shrink the guys anymore. That's good. Wow! Did not expect to take damage there, but that's okay. Sparks? Alright, last flight level. That's fine. That's fine, just a little bit of a, you know, choky movement. Crystal Flight is really fun. This is not Crystal Flight, this is Icy Flight. Icy Flight is really fun as well. Very simple. Well, very simple except when you miss. Not too bad. We're winging it, literally. Train. Got the floating gizmo boys. Another train. KK. Alright, I gotta be quick here. We want to catch the other train while it's in the tunnel. Alright, not too bad. Lost a little bit of time from obviously missing the chest, but overall that wasn't terrible at all. Alright, and we're going to just charge off the level. That was almost really bad. I'm going to go ahead and wait for a fodder here. Alright. Unfortunately, in Spyro, you have to wait until Sparks finishes the eating animation. Otherwise, it never really counts. So, if I wanted to wait for health there, I had to literally wait for health. Little charge glide there to get up here faster. My goodness. I think I collected all 3 gems, hopefully. So we're coming up to kind of an annoying part. There's like this little like flying down section, and then we have a supercharged section coming up after that as well. Yeah, I'm already off the cycle. Gonna have to come back up again for that balloon guy. Not too big a deal, but kind of annoying. I just jumped a little early. All right, so here comes the supercharged section. This is, I believe, the last supercharged section of the game. Yeah, I think it is. So we're going to try to go to the left of this gate so that we can use the ramp here, and I missed. And I went down I went up the wrong lift. So this is a great lofty castle so far. Oh my gosh. All right. I'll just go in a full circle. That way the camera turns with me. There we go. All right, let's try that again. There we go. I see you, Red Gem, trying to hide. I'll do another charge right there to get over here. Alright. So yeah, Lofty Castle, there's kind of only one way to do it because you have to free all these fairies that, provide you with these lifts. But, get the commando roll. How you guys doing backstage? All right, so now we take that key that we got like forever ago, and we come back over here and we open up the chests. Really, really hoping I'm not missing gems, but Lofty is always tricky. We're good. Even for Hundy. All right, so we have the second to last boss coming up. We're going to be facing Jacques. And yes, I am pronouncing it right for all the French Canadians backstage. You're welcome. All right. So in this level, we are going to be collecting basically all the gems up until the boss, and then we'll face the boss. Alright, so we will be using a Death Warp in this level as well. Fly up here. Woo! Man, I could not see. Not all of it. Just like to double check. Alright, so we die here. Just faster than backtracking through the whirlwind and stuff. Turn the camera around, make sure I don't fall off. Oh, it's really nice to make that cycle so that you don't have to hit both of the fools again. Whoop. Thought I could do that blind charge, guess not. Alright, so now if we've gotten all of our gems, we should have 325 before facing Mr. Jacques. I think we do. So Jacques, big old Jack-in-the-Box guy. We just chase him around the level. We flame him when he's on top of his Jack-in-the-Box. And Jacques produces actually the most gold, or the most treasure rather, out of any boss. Produces 175. So that was 500. That's everything. We should be at a nice number of 10,500 as we go into the final world of the game. So there are 4 more levels. There's 2 regular levels with 400 gems each. There's the level where we actually defeat Nasty Nork. And then there's the secret level that opens up once we have all of the treasure called Nasty's Loot. And then once we finish Nasty's Loot, we're done with the game. So 5 more dragons, about 3,500 more gems, no more dragon eggs. We've collected all those already. So we're looking pretty good. These guys can kind of be annoying. The guys who are holding the TNT barrels, you have to blow up the TNT on them first. Oh man, I'm so lucky I didn't fall in the water right there. And then obviously we've got those metal barrels that we can send into enemies to kill them as well. Oh, really? No way to recover from falling in the water right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and pick up this extra life. very iffy on gems right there. I hope we got the right count. The only gem count I know is 239, and that's right before this. Yep, we're good. 219 plus 20 is 239, so we're good there. Alrighty. Couple more parts of North Cove. Now, the thing that's unique about North Cove and Twilight Harbor, the next level, is you cannot pause exit them. You must exit through the home portal. So we do actually have to go to the end of the level in both levels. Wham bam, wham bam. Get those guys' gems on the way back out. Good. Not that way. That way. All right, so we hit a 10 gem here, and then we're out. That was a good Nork. Good Nork, not too bad. All right, Twilight Harbor, there's a lot of guys with guns. We're going to try not to get hit by any bullets. And we're going to... Oh, there is some supercharge in this level. I forgot. So we do have some more supercharge antics to go through as well. Nice. Already missed the first gun guy. That really hit me? Alright. Well, I don't have any sparks right now, but I don't really need him right now. I will need him in a second. That guy just went invisible. What the heck? I have never seen that before. I have never ever seen that. No grenades, please. All right, so we open up, we lift that bridge because we're going to use it to supercharge here in a second. Only one more dragon to collect. I'm going to come all the way up here. Not sure how many extra lives I have. We'll grab that just in case. Okay, I've got plenty. We're going to be doing 2 death warps in this level, so that's 1. Wow, this is the slowest supercharge I think I've ever had. And that's 2. Okay. We'll finish up. like to double check there because I'm always unsure. All right. So now we have Nasty Nork, and then we have Nasty's Loot, and then we are well on our way. This should be 11-5. Yep. All right. So in order to face Nasty Nork, we gotta go get these keys first. So there's one. This key is gonna open up another door where we will get more key, or another key rather. I'll probably have to chase him around the horn now, again. If you collect these gems fast enough, you can like actually hit Nasty while he's standing on the platform for the first time. But somehow I always seem to choke just like one chest or one gem, and then I can never catch him. So we'll see. He might shoot at me here, and then he'll probably move. Oh man, that was so close. It's okay. We do have all the gems at least. Okay, so we've got the fake ending right here, as well as like 3 minutes of credits. So if we have any donations or anything like that backstage staff wants to say while we're waiting for the final level, now would be the great time.
Nasty Gnork?
Nasty Nork is toast.
So
This
now
is kind of where I
there's
get to
order
stretch
again
and
in the
relax
Dragon
for a little
Kingdom?
bit.
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to pick up.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
All right, so 3 minutes of credits, and then we've got Nasty's Loot, where we collect 2,000 gems, and then we'll be done with the game. That'll close out day one.
All right, then. I guess I can read some donations.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we have a $30.31 donation from It's a Geiger, and he says, every speedrunning marathon needs an I've never seen that before. Thanks, it's SHM, for bringing it to NoReset. LOL.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead while we're doing credits, unless backstage staff has anything else to say. I'm going to go ahead and do shout-outs so that I don't have to waste time after the run is over. But I want to give a shout-outs to Didi for coming into my chat and recruiting me into DreamHack, because I'm glad to be here. It's really cool to come to Austin. I've never been, so it's fun being here. I want to give a shout-out to Ace Gamer Sam. I know he really told me that you guys were good guys as well, so I know that he's probably watching or he's laughing at home at my run right now, so hopefully he's having a good time. I want to give a shout-outs to the Spyro Discord, everybody who runs the games currently. You guys are can of corn. You guys are a lot of fun, and you guys are very open, very willing to teach newcomers like myself, so I appreciate all the help that I've gotten in learning the run so far. Yeah, and then shout-outs to Emo Arbiter and Glorious Liar, who are two of my friends who are running later in the DreamHack. They're going to be running on Sunday. If you guys want to stick around and watch them, they're going to be running. Glorious Liar is running Donkey Kong 64 all keys. So he'll be collecting all 8 of the boss keys as fast as possible, and then beating K. Rool. And then Emo Arbiter is going to be running Banjo Tooie Any Percent, which has changed a lot since it's been shown publicly at a marathon. So that's going to be a really, really fun run. They're the 3rd and 2nd to last runs of the entire weekend. So please make sure you stick around. If those of you who have 3-day passes, please come and watch them do their runs as well. All right, so this is the last thing. They're talking about no sheep getting harmed. And then we're going to go ahead and do the final level.
I just want to say that with Parasite Eve before this run, this is kind of like the ending credits block for this marathon.
It's a good way to put it. All right. So this level's Nasty's Loot. This is kind of the secret level that you get to play around in. Spyro has permanent flight in this level, so we can always fly at any time we want to. But his flight is restricted by the height of the current platform that he's on. So until we get higher, we can't fly higher. We can only fly this high right now. Again, while we're flying, we're going to try to keep Spyro low. So I'm going to actually use these fans to hit the second key thief. Got him. Really saves us the trouble of having to chase those guys around. All right, now the next 2 thieves are in planes, and I'm going to be trying to kill the planes as fast as possible. So I'm going to try to manipulate this first plane. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, that's okay. Not that time. It's really the second plane that is the problem. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try to manipulate this plane so we can kill him fast. Oh, he went the other way. That's okay. I'll just chase this guy around the horn. I got no problem with that. That's fine. That didn't even lose that much time. Ooh, that will though. There we go. Oh, missed that firework. All right, who's ready to collect the crap ton of pink gems? Okay, time is coming up soon. Time. All right.
Spyro Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated Ganasty Ganor.
Well,
collected the dragon eggs,
we
saved
have
all the
pretty good
dragons, and
news.
recovered
If
every
we
bit of
actually
treasure in the
take
Dragon
away the
Kingdom.
25
How do
seconds
you
from the
feel?
intro
I
cutscene
feel fired up,
that
Bob.
doesn't actually
And I'm
count
happy
when
for
we
the
put it
Dragon
on our
World
leaderboards,
Tour.
this is
I
actually a
certainly
personal
wouldn't wanna
best.
spend the rest
So,
of my Dragon days
pretty
fighting
cool.
All right.
Yeah.
and working as weird minions.
It's only a personal best by about 10 seconds,
never
but
mind.
PB during a
You know
marathon,
what
I'll
they
take it.
say.
So,
For every good battle, you need
not
a
world
good
record, but,
adversary.
you know, we'll
Can
take
I
the
be-
PB.
Close enough. Close
Take
enough.
the
It's a
PB.
record in your world. Let's put it that way.
What's a worthy
That's right.
opponent?
So, SecretHumorMan,
Here we go
how do you feel
again.
about being the last run of the first day of the first edition of Speedrunning at DreamHack Austin? How do you feel about that?
Feels good, man. I'm glad to be here. I know that there's a ton more cool runs coming, so, you know, this was only a preview. We've got really cool runs coming up tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, I really can't stress it enough, so thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. It was a pleasure having you on the stream. And I have to say, PB on stream, man, it's always a pleasure. It's always a nice moment to capture. And we always have VODs, so you can actually submit it
Sweet.
after the event. Give us a
That's
couple of
awesome.
days, but it's going to be up. And to everyone watching, everyone was sitting down, thank you very much for enjoying the show with us. Please do come back tomorrow at 10 sharp. The show's starting again with more speedrunning for you guys. And this actually closes off day one of No Reset at DreamHack Austin 2018. Thank you.
Awesome.